Hi everybody, it's Sari Cecilia here. I haven't been on for a while, been a bit of a hermit, painting and reprocessing, and I thought I'd start to come back on Facebook Live. If you are watching this on Facebook, you can join me live. And I've been going through a little bit of a death myself, and I pulled out this card, and it's the death card, and it just gave me a feeling of coming to share this. And you know, if you're watching this, you are aware of the collective consciousness where you're either thinking something and somebody else that you know or don't know have been going through the same thing. That serendipity, that alignment, and I'm really starting to want to speak about the collective consciousness. And as a painter, I know I receive messages and have urges to paint certain things, and I do believe it comes from source. And it comes from a collective consciousness. So I want to pull out a card every day, and I'm going to call it the collective consciousness, just to see if this resonates with you. Now, sometimes the cards that I pull out will be what people around you may be going through and not necessarily you. Or you're watching this and you're not resonating with it, but maybe tomorrow or the week after you will, because you're starting to feel in alignment with what's happening. And there's just so much happening in the world, so much happening with the environment and with politics and everything around the world, that there is kind of like a death process happening. Now, when you see this card in tarot, it doesn't necessarily mean that someone's going to die. It could be a death of something that you've been going through, a process, or even a rebirth, something new that's trying to come through in our lives. And this is really important to remember, rather than going straight to the literal meaning of death. You can see this is like these beautiful cards, the Druid cards, are like the triple goddess here, and this is the crone. She is with her cauldron. I'm just going to pull the card up a bit. With her cauldron, and it's dawn. So she may have been up all night, going through her own transformation. But you can see in her face, there's no fear of death. She understands that it's the process and the transformation. I'm also being drawn to the ancient faces behind her, like her ancestors are there protecting her. And you know, death is related to a lot of things. They're the snake of sensuality, sexuality. There are there's a lot of literature and myths and legends around death and sexuality. Sometimes even when people climax, that bliss that they feel can also be associated with the bliss of dying and death. So there are a lot of correlations there that I'm sure if you're interested in those things, you can research on the internet. And so this is our feeling of the card of today. And I'm finding that for me, this card is a precursor to the transformation that I'm personally going through in my own creative business and a spiritual business. I guess more like combining mysticism and art and creativity, looking at my intuition and how I help others through my painting. So huge transformation time for me personally. And this card is also reminding me of Mother Earth or Gaia, believe it or not, because I see the sickle here, the harvest. She may, the crone may have, taken the harvest, and there is really strong connections in the Druids with the rebirth, initiations, life, death, and the harvest as a transformation to manifesting new things, life force, life-giving, wind, snow, and there is a tenderness in this card that I find that it reminds me to have compassion about when we are going through these large transformations, to have compassion for ourselves and for others, that this process is not easy, and what we're going through at the moment in our conscious collective is not easy. It's not an easy time at the moment, but with an understanding and a compassion that this is the collective feeling, we can have more compassion rather than thinking that we are going through this on our own and we are alone. And I'm guilty of this as well. Guilty in the sense that I've experienced that recently. But perhaps this is an initiation of saying, well, which way are you going to go? Are you going to die a slow death and, walk into the darkness of some kind? Or are we going to transform? So it's not really the end. It's a very powerful message to transform, knowing that this will change whatever it is that we are going through individually. So this could be a death of a job, a relationship, homes, battles we're fighting, our lifestyle, life choices. So relating that in any way that you appear resonates with you may help you today to get through the death that you may be feeling in our consciousness collectively. So that is our card for today. These videos here daily draw just a one card for the collective consciousness, and I'll do those from a Monday to Saturday just to get into the habit of feeling what energy is coming forward for the day, and just if it helps anyone throughout the day. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I really got a lot out of that message from the death card today. Do not be afraid of this card if you ever see it or receive it. I'm really happy that it came out as the first card to start my own transformation to being more visible and being more present in these lovely communities that we are finding ourselves here. Well, I hope to see you, Karina, tomorrow on Creative Intuitive. And if those of you who are watching this and would like to join our community there, we're an intimate community of creative people who are seeking out to develop our intuition using tools and tips and information that we share there creatively and intuitively.